Welcome everybody. Welcome to this free live training, How to Sell with Soul. I'm Niyc Pigeon, founder and creator of niycpigeon.com, optimalu.com, and the Upgrade Your Success online group program for ladies that are running businesses, female entrepreneurs that want to thrive in life and also within their professional career as well. So I'm a positive psychologist and an international coach, and I work with female entrepreneurs and women that are struggling with overcoming low self-esteem. They're struggling with negative self-talk, and I really help you to understand what it means to activate your next level breakthrough and to live a truly thriving, successful, happy and fulfilled life. I'm so grateful to have you here. We are going to be starting the training in just a minute. I would like to introduce you right now to the fantastic Shay Fast, who is joining us from America. So Shay is my friend and one of my one-to-one private mentorship clients. So hey Shay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Niyc. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. So whereabouts are you joining us from today?
Well, today I am sitting in my home, my beautiful home office, and I'm in the beautiful state of Montana in the United States.
Fantastic, awesome. So can you just introduce yourself for all of the ladies that are watching? We've got over 200 ladies on the line right now. So it would be awesome if you can introduce yourself. Just tell us briefly a little bit about you and what you do.
Okay, well, I'm excited to be with all of you guys today. I am a very happy mother, but also I have a beautiful, thriving Arbonne company. I've been in Arbonne International for over 3 years now, and I am also a proud owner of a coffee shop company called Cowgirl Coffee Company, where I have 3 locations and 16 employees and 2 mobile units, and we're operating 365 days a year. So I guess I would say I'm pretty much a busy mom.
Absolutely. You are so super inspiring, and I know that you are going to provide huge inspiration and motivation for all of the ladies that are watching today. Your success inspires me, and I absolutely love having you as a friend and as a coaching client. I love working with you. So proud of you. So we're going to get started, and first of all, I'm going to introduce what today's training is really all about. So within this How to Sell with Soul live training, you are going to be understanding how to release your blocks around selling. You are going to learn how to have those sales conversations and present both you and your business with confidence and ease. You are going to be learning why positive psychology is the future of sales, the future of marketing, and the future of network marketing as well. We are going to stop you from sounding like a dodgy car salesman when you are selling your products and your services. And we're really going to get you into the space where you are enjoying and loving what it is that you do. So first of all, I really want to introduce to you what positive psychology is. So for those of you that aren't familiar with positive psychology and with the field that I work within and I'm an expert within, Pos Psych is the science of happiness, the science of optimal functioning, and it looks at how individuals, communities, and businesses can thrive. So we focus on taking you from where you are right now to where it is you want to be. So we move you from being in the moderate arena to really thriving, really succeeding, and finding your happiness and your fulfillment within your life. So to give you a little bit of background about me and my relationship to sales, I don't actually have a sales background at all. So I used to really dread sales, and I know from the questions and the comments that I've had coming in on email before we've launched this training, I know that this is something that you've really struggled with as well. So that was the inspiration for this training, really, to provide something that can help you up-level yourself, the way that you present yourself, and also the way that you present your business as well. So I want you to really supercharge your confidence, and I wish that I'd had something like this when I was starting out in sales. So my journey starts 10 years ago. So it starts when I left school and I decided that I wanted to become a mechanical and automotive engineer. So this was my plan, this was my life's dream. And instead of going straight to uni, I decided to take a year out and go and do some traveling in Australia with my partner at the time. And he was a professional cricket player and he was seeing a sports psychologist to help with his mindset. And I remember to this day, it's something that has stayed with me for all of this time. He came home from his coaching session one day and he said to me, the psychologist I've been working with was doing a visualization exercise with me. And he told me that when I'm into bat on the field, not to look around the field and see all of the fielders that are there, but instead to look for the gaps in between the fielders instead. And that is something that I know can be applied to your life and to your business. So when you are looking at your reality, you're looking at your business, you're looking at your current situation, don't look for the obstacles, look for the gaps and look for the opportunities instead. So I was so inspired by this conversation and really by my experience in Australia at this time that I decided that I wanted to completely change my career path. I was very fortunate to understand what it was that I loved and to find my purpose at a very young age. And I went on to change my degrees to study psychology with sports science instead. Whilst I was doing that, I worked full time. So I've always been a real hard worker and I joined up to be a personal trainer. So I worked as a personal trainer and at the age of 21, I was manager of a gym. And as part of my role within the gym environment, I was required to sell gym memberships. I was required to do outreach, to get out there, to talk to people, and also to call people on the phone. And this filled me with the biggest fear ever. So I actually used to feel sick when I had to ring someone, which to me right now, because I'm 10 years on in my journey, seems completely bizarre, but I can completely understand and I can connect in with that feeling that you are all feeling within your businesses as well. So I was coming from a place at that time of selling something, of pushing something on somebody, of trying to get them to do something that I wanted them to do that they might not necessarily want to do. And because of that, it was filling me with this fear and I was not in the right frame of mind to be doing this sales training and this sales role within the business. So I went on, I continued my personal training. I studied to lecture and teach, and I also went on to do a master's degree in positive psychology. So that's when my specialism came in. And after I graduated from my positive psychology degree, I set up my own business. And within my business, I run Optimal You wellness workshops. So I run 2 different styles of events right now that are really, really successful. And I also run my coaching practice as well through nickpigeon.com. So both of these businesses are doing fantastically well now. They are both global businesses. I absolutely love the women that I work with and the community that we've developed, but it wasn't always that way. I used to really struggle with selling and I used to get really nervous around selling my events. And I would have this huge attachment to the outcome of what if nobody turns up, or what if people don't like what I'm saying, or how am I going to sell this next ticket? And because I was coming from this place of wanting to get numbers and being really focused on the outcome, my business wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. I was getting low numbers to my events, and it was actually upsetting for me at the time because I really felt like a failure. What I learned and what I can encourage you to do is to really shift your mindset in terms of what it is that you are offering within your business. So I had a huge mindset shift, which for me was to focus on helping one person. So to focus on how you can be of service and how you can help somebody for their highest good. And in return, you will be compensated with either the financial goal that you desire, or it might be growing your team, growing your business, and growing your community. So when I started to focus on sharing rather than selling, my business completely transformed. Now, I've always been focused on helping people. I've always been focused on giving value. But because I had such a big fear around sales, this wasn't coming through. And because I was so focused on the numbers, it wasn't working for me. So I can really, really encourage you, more than anything, shift your mindset and shift your focus from being on selling to focusing on how you can help people and how you can actually serve them. So what was it that actually changed for me? It was the big mindset shift, like I said, and it was focusing on sharing, not selling. And it was focusing on really knowing your product well, knowing what it is and what the benefits are to people. And once you are so confident and so sure about your product or your service that you are selling, then it doesn't seem like work to you. It doesn't seem like a chore to actually get involved with people and engage with people, to build your community, to share your ideas, your events, your services, whatever it is that you're putting out into the world. When you get that fire inside and when you truly believe from a deep place, when you've got that soul level of understanding of what it is that you're bringing to the world, it really doesn't seem like selling at all. So I want to share with you my top 5 tips for sales success. So these are tips that I have learned within my business. They are things that I have actually applied and used. So these are not coming out of a textbook. These are coming from what has worked for me in my real life experience. So my tip number 1 is to get really, really clear on who it is that you're targeting with your business, to get real clarity around your ideal client. Because if you are marketing and if you are selling to everybody, then you're really not selling to anybody at all. So by taking a blanket approach, you are not speaking to anybody in particular. So you're not really engaging with people in the way that you need to engage with them to actually get them to come on board with what it is you are selling. So to identify your target market and to identify your ideal client, what I would recommend is thinking about, first of all, are they male or female? Where do they live? What kind of interests do they have? So for your particular business, you might be interested in engaging with people that are interested in health, or it might be engaging with people that are mums, for example. So really get in tune and start to do some writing. Just write down some characteristics of your ideal client, what kind of things they're into, what kind of things they enjoy, and where you would find these people. So by doing this, you're actually creating some structure around your business activities. You are creating a container for yourself to know who it is that you are speaking to. This can then help you to develop the language that you're going to use to actually engage with that client. It's going to help you to really connect with them and really speak to them and communicate with them in terms of their values rather than yours. So this is a really important step, and it's something that I would encourage you not to skip, because I skipped it at the start of my business and I was broadcasting my message to anybody that would listen. And as a result, I didn't actually get the success that I desired and I knew I deserved. So first of all, spend some time getting really, really clear on your ideal client. That will actually serve you so much better and make your business more powerful as it moves forwards. The second tip that I would suggest for increasing your business and really supercharging your success is to be present and increase your vibration. Get into a really positive place before you are doing any sort of sales activity. So if you are low in confidence, if you are scared to go into a sales conversation, if you are feeling anxiety and resistance around it, your ideal client, your customer, your new team member, whoever it is that you're targeting, they're going to feel that. So you need to get yourself into a really positive place. You need to be feeling energized. You need to be sure of what your message is. You need to be powerful in your presentation. So when you are coming to a meeting or you're coming to a conversation that you are having with someone, you are clear and you are communicating well. So the ways that I would suggest that you do this is, number 1, to raise your energetic frequency. You can do something that you enjoy. You can get yourself into a positive place using meditation. So that's something that I do before I come onto a live training like this, or before I speak to one of my coaching clients. I will also always do a meditation. So that will really ground me in the experience. It will allow me to come from a place of centered confidence and power. And it will mean that I'm not all over the place when I am engaging in a conversation with someone. Another way that I love to raise my vibration, raise my energetic frequency, is to play my favorite music. And this is something that I'm sure you will all love as well. So if meditation isn't something that is available to you, use the music side of things first of all. So put on your favorite songs, dance around, love life, and really get yourself into a positive place for selling and for having these sales conversations. So when you're feeling joy, when you're feeling love, when you are feeling energized, you're feeling inspired, you're feeling motivated, your energetic frequency is actually so much higher than if you were in a place of feeling resistant, feeling fearful. And we know that as you raise your energetic frequency, as you move up into that spectrum of positive emotions, of feeling good, you are expanding your cognitive horizons. Your mind opens up. You are feeling happier. You are more creative. You are able to get your message across more clearly. So I would strongly suggest that before you move into any sort of sales conversation or sales sharing, selling environment, that you really work on how you feel yourself first. Even if it's an email, if you're feeling rubbish, don't send the email, wait. Do something to put yourself into that positive place, get yourself into that space first, and then do it. So my tip number 3 is to be visible. So this was a fear that I had, and I want you to really get clear on your fears here. I want you to verbalize and label what it is you're scared of. So are you scared of failure? Are you scared of getting a no when you approach someone for a sale or to grow your team? Are you scared of being judged? That's one that comes up with the women that I work with all of the time. So other people are scared of what other people think of them. And in reality, this is the other person's projection of what they think and feel that they're projecting onto you. So if somebody has something to say about your business, if they disagree with what you do, that is their problem and not yours. All you need to be concerned about is keeping yourself in this high vibe state, putting your message out there and actually getting visible. Because if people don't know that you've got something to share, if they can't see on your social media or they don't hear you speaking about it, then there's no way that they're going to know about the opportunity that they have in front of them. And it's scary sometimes. Business, I always say that business is an emotional journey. These fears will come up, and as female entrepreneurs, we will be tasked with facing these fears. It's all part of the amazing roller coaster and the amazing journey that we are on as women in business. And it's something that is seen in the most successful of leaders, the most successful of entrepreneurs and business people. So I was lucky enough to have a conversation with billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk a few years ago. And within the conference call, I had the chance to ask him about my business. And I asked him a question that asked him what was the most emotional and hardest thing that he'd ever done in business. And I was really surprised when he filled up with tears. So a grown man, a billionaire, really successful, powerful guy, changing the world with his companies. He used to own PayPal and he now owns Tesla Motors and SpaceX. And that company is doing huge, big things in the world. So in terms of energy, in terms of trips into space, he's doing fantastic things. And he teared up because he was really getting across that he had a huge fear around when he had to invest money in his businesses, and his businesses were like his children. They were his babies. So you can really use that as inspiration and as motivation, because even if you're not at that billionaire status yet, even if you are on your way to that status, everybody in life has these fears that come up, and it's really about smashing through these fears, about labeling them, showing up for yourself, understanding what they are, and understanding that they are all an illusion. These fears are coming up for you as a test. They're showing up as a test to see how much you want your success, to see how much you believe in your business, to see how clear you are about your message, and to really see how powerfully you are willing to make the progress and do the work for yourself to allow you to realize the success that you want. So my tip number 4 is to solve a problem. So there is no scarcity of people in the world. There are 3 billion people that are using internet in the world now, and there are 500 million people that are active on Facebook. So Facebook is a fantastic tool for you to use to share your message and to share your business. But what you will always need to be communicating is the value in your business, the value in your services, and the value in what it is that you are sharing with people. Now, whether this is within social media, on an email, on the telephone, or within a face-to-face contact, you really want to work out what it is that you can help people with. So for my business, it is helping people to activate their next level breakthroughs. So I help you when you are stuck or struggling, when you know that you deserve a certain level of success, but you're not necessarily there yet, when you are struggling with low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and negative self-talk. So that is really connecting me to you, because you then think, oh, actually, yes, I do experience those things. So I need this help, I need this support. So what is it in your business that you are solving for other people? So is it that you are solving low energy? Does your ideal client or team member suffer with low energy? Or are you solving a health problem? Are you solving something like eczema? Or are you solving a problem that someone is really struggling with low income? They're really struggling with not being able to support themselves, support their family, and support the dreams and the life that they want to live. So think about what it is that is your pain point for your client or your team member, and really speak to them in terms of that, in terms of their values, in terms of where they need the help. Try and connect very personally with people. Speak on an emotive level. Speak about how things make you feel, and really connect in with that feeling inside. Also, when you are sharing your business and you're sharing your ideas, think about case studies that you can use to really make the benefits and the solving of this problem real for people. So quite often, if people see a product or a service and you're sharing it with them, they'll think, well, obviously they think that it's amazing because they're the one sharing it, it's their business. But if you can then support this with testimonials or real life case studies that you can use to share with the people that you're talking with, to really support your statement and to support your offering, it's going to give you so much more power. So this might be somebody that has created a business like you, that has reached a 5-figure income. It might be somebody that has solved a health problem for themselves and has actually cured their eczema or has cured their lack of energy, and they've gone on to live a thriving life. And you can give the specific details of that story. You can tell the person their name. You can say where they're from. You can say how they struggled before and how they've actually overcome that. And by doing that, you're actually going to be supporting yourself and supporting the message that you're giving to people going forwards. My top 5 tips, my number 5 tip within this is to actually ask for the sale. So what we see when I'm working with clients that are struggling with selling, they're struggling with confidence around selling, is that the confidence thing really comes in when you're having that sales conversation and you get to the end, you've done all of your sharing, you've got the yeses all the way through the conversation. People are on board with your vibe. They love what you do and they're so invested and bought into your concept. And then at the end of the conversation, nothing. You don't ask for the sale because you're too scared to say it. So this is something that we see all of the time. And it's something that I used to do when I used to sell gym memberships, because you are so nervous about the outcome and you are so attached to the outcome. What I want you to do is to actually let go of the outcome. I want you to focus on whether this experience is going to be a good fit for you and whether it's a good fit for the other person that's involved. You are always having a conversation with a human. You are not coming across as this is something that I wrote earlier. It's generic, and I'm going to send it to you, and you can either buy or not buy. It's not as black and white as that. It's a conversation. It's a feedback loop. So ask for the sale, verbalize it. Say, okay, this is the investment, this is the price, and these are your options. So are you on board with this? Do you want to jump in right now? Or do you have any questions? Because if somebody says no to you, it's not always a no, an ultimate no. It might just be a no right now. So have a conversation, continue to explore what it is they're struggling with and how you can help them. Overcome the objections that they come up with by being really honest and by not being afraid to talk about them. So continue the conversation in this area. If somebody comes up with an objection and says, oh, I don't have the time to get involved with and setting up a new business for myself, or I don't have the money to buy your product or service, say, okay, awesome. So tell me more about that. So this isn't a priority for you right now. I'd love to know what would make it a priority for you, or is it just the price? Is it just the investment? Is it just the time element? Or is there something else? Really coach them into exploring what it is that is making them feel nervous around the sale, because you feel nervous about selling it, but potentially they might actually feel nervous about stepping up and buying it, stepping up to invest in themselves, or stepping up to do something different, because our brains love comfort. They love familiarity, and they're not too good with stepping out of their comfort zones. They're not too good with breaking boundaries. And you really need to offer support for people to be able to do this, to be able to create the change and create the positive change in their life that they want. So hopefully those top 5 tips have helped you. And I know a few of you have sent questions in. So we're going to move over to Shay now. We're going to be engaging in a Q&A with the questions that you have sent in to me. And we're going to learn from Shay and really understand what it is that works for her within her business, that she has grown massively. And I'm sure she's going to tell you a little bit about that. So Shay, can you give us an introduction to your business, first of all, and to tell everybody and share everyone your huge success, because your success is actually known all around the world. So I know you are in Montana in America at the moment. I was talking to one of my friends that is from the UK, but she lives in Miami at the moment. And I said, oh, are you going to get on the training that we're doing at the end of the week? And she said, yes, awesome. And I said, oh, one of my clients is joining me. She's amazing. Her name's Shay Fast. And she said, I know her. I saw her on stage in Vegas. She's got loads of awards, loads of accolades, and she's absolutely amazing. So you are globally known and recognized. So congratulations. Tell us more about that, Shay.
Thank you, Niyc. I'm so excited to be here with you. Wow, that was really cool. That just really kind of puts everything that I've been working on into perspective. So there were so many things that you said the whole entire time that I was wanting to, like, yes, share on that and share on this, what you were just going through. So I just love that we're doing this together. And I'm so excited that you came into my life. And gosh, I think you even used some of your sales tips on me, because I think I wasn't really ready to pull the trigger at the end, but I think you kind of kept asking me questions. It's really strange too, before I get into me, is that I noticed that when I really don't know you very well, but I feel like I know you so well. And it's because you have done the ultimate strategy with people, is that you have asked me so many questions about myself, and I've worked solely on me with you, that you are so I am so comfortable with you that I feel like I know you, yet I did not know your whole entire background story. It's wild. So that's a great tip for anybody, is the more that you can ask questions about that other person, the more they're going to feel comforted by you and want to work with you and build that relationship with you. And you really don't have to be giving up this big spiel or anything. It's just, it's really such a great way to get to know people is by asking questions. So, okay, I'll move into a little bit about me. So I am a 43-year-old woman, and I live in Montana, but I'm not from Montana. I'm actually from California, and I was, let's see, I graduated high school in 1989. I barely graduated high school, to be honest with you. I would have way rather been off skateboarding or listening to punk rock music back then. But I was really lost, and so I definitely did not want to go to college and waste any of my mom's money. And so I decided that I wanted to go move to Utah, where I had a childhood friend living, and she was working at a ski resort. Well, I had started snowboarding occasionally in Tahoe, and I decided to go move directly to Utah, live in this gal's house, and start snowboarding. And so right away, it was pretty much when snowboarding kind of opened up to the resorts. And I was one of the very few girls. So I quickly went professional snowboarding, which is when photographers will pay you or companies will pay you to use their products and to ride their products. And so I started kind of figuring out how to market myself within that industry, because I was going to trade shows and I was looking to earn a little bit more money so that I could just be a totally ridiculous ski bum. So I actually had to have some kind of skills with that. And so I did. I ended up moving or visiting Montana and fell in love with it. I was here for a photo shoot, and this was about 19 years ago. So then I jumped back in my car, grabbed all my stuff, and I moved up here, and I haven't left since. And when I moved here, unfortunately, I quickly hurt my back. And then I couldn't really snowboard anymore, so I didn't know really what to do. Well, I was definitely into health and wellness, and I decided to go to massage school. So I went to massage school, and along the lines of massage school, I was always have been working in coffee shops. So I graduated massage school, had a nice little practice. I really didn't want to work for anybody else. I just kind of wanted to create my own schedule. And but quickly I was a little bit anxious when I was working on people 4 or 5 days a week, or hours a day actually, in the dark, listening to flutes playing. It just wasn't for me to be in that environment. So I wanted to go and open up a coffee shop. So that's what I did. So I started Cowgirl Coffee 13 years ago. I think it's almost 14 years now. I went from one location to the next location to the next location. You guys, I want you to know a little bit too, is that I've never been this like confident go-getter. It was kind of more or less just things like would fall into my lap, and I would say, well, I think that's what I need to do. And I would just take the action steps to get it done. Like I said, I wasn't this overly confident woman that had an abundance of money by any means. I mean, I had to go through the ringer. I had to go to the bank. I had to get the loans. I had to write the business plans. I had to put myself out there for risks. And I really just stuck to it. So I'm excited to share with you how to be successful in your business, because it wasn't like it was appointed to me, that's for sure. So fast forward, I wanted to have kids. I've met my husband. My husband is an entrepreneur as well. He owns a motorcycle dealership. And I decided that I wanted to have children and be a stay-at-home mom. And so we got married. I had kids. I was at home. I kind of developed the coffee shop so that they would operate by themselves. Next thing you know, I am like super anxious at home thinking, is this my life? Is this what it's all about now? Changing diapers and just like letting my husband leave in the morning at 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. and come back at 7 p.m. And I was starting to get frustrated with him because I felt lonely. I felt like my life was kind of passing by. I was just watching terrible TV, and I loved being a mom, but this was just, I did not want to just sit around and play words with friends all day long. And actually something kind of did come about with that little section of my life is when I sort of learned a little bit more about Facebook. So Facebook has been a good tool for me in my business. So anyways, I was invited to go to an Arbonne party, and I don't know if you've heard of Arbonne, but it's a health and wellness company. I had never heard of it. I went to get out of the house, And honestly, I always thought people that had home parties were just the weirdest people. I just didn't understand them. I thought they just wanted to make hobby money, and they just really didn't have a life. I don't know. I just had these really preconceived ideas about them. And I went to this get together, and I was really intrigued with the products, but more so with the business opportunity that was attached to it. And so I had to ask for more information. And this was now 3 years ago, and it was in August. And I got more information, and I just decided to jump in. You guys, we are a full health and wellness company, and we use consumable products. So products that you're putting on your skin, like washing your hair, shampooing your hair, conditioning, face wash, anti-aging skincare, stuff, honestly, that I had absolutely really no idea about. I was not an esthetician. I just was a consumer, and I did like health, health conscious points and food and organic food. It was pretty important to me, but I really wasn't paying attention to what I was putting on my skin. And so that was a huge added bonus that went along with it. But I just kind of wanted to let you know that I had no idea about what it was that I was doing, but there was just this calling to me that I needed to do it. And it was really because it was just like, it was a way out. It was a way out of the house. It was a way out of, and for me to get out of the house and to actually be bringing in an income, so I could go have fun with some ladies and then bring in an income, and I didn't feel guilty about it. So that was really how it started. And now, wow, 3 years later. Okay, so I have promoted to regional vice president, and within our company, we have 4 levels. So I'm 1 level from the top. Really, really proud of my journey. I've definitely been very incredibly goal-driven with my business, and I couldn't be more grateful that this business opportunity fell into my lap, because it has propelled me into this fantastic lifestyle of coaching and leadership and excellency, and I just can't get enough of it. And that's why I'm so grateful that I met Niyc, because we work together, and here she is on the whole entire other side of the planet. And I met somebody that shares similar interests and is so passionate about women entrepreneurs. And really that's what it was that I fell in love with, was just the opportunity to offer people a business model that they could take and run with and go as big as they want. And network marketing is absolutely a business model of the future. And a lot of it solely is because look at what we're doing. I mean, we can work through the comfort of our home. I work consistently through just my telephone. And that's really all that we need. And to be able to build a global company and to not have to have a brick and mortar store to kind of be, ball and chain accountable for is just amazing. So I cannot not hold back. I want to share this business with everybody that I can possibly share with, because I know there's people out there that feel the way that I felt, and I want to help them to at least just kind of understand more options and help them in any way that I possibly can, because that's really the best way to live life. So I think that was answering your question, Niyc. I kind of got a little overboard.
That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. And I think what you said about you finding your calling, that is something that I can completely resonate with. So when your message and your calling and your purpose becomes so strong, it becomes so much stronger than the fear that you feel around selling. So you've actually got a higher purpose. You've got a reason for selling this, sharing this message with the world. And you are absolutely, by the end of this year, just to share with everybody, you are hitting that national vice president position within your company. So you are second in the company now in terms of the level that you're at. You're going right to the top, and that's what we're coaching you towards for the end of the year. So I'm so excited to see your successes with that. So Shay, you've mentioned a little bit about your background with sales. So I guess within your coffee companies, you would have had some sort of direct selling that you had to do with clients. What do you actually believe it is? What are the qualities that make up a good salesperson?
Well, with my history and having people driving up to the coffee shop, I mean, they're totally coming for a purpose. They have the product that you're carrying they want. So I'm not really asking anybody for anything. I'm just providing that service. Totally different platform than it is with network marketing when you're, or, you know, when you're a salesperson in any type of sales, is that you've got to ask for the sale. Just like you said, you've got to get really comfortable with the ask. But as far as, what was that question that you asked again? What
are the qualities that you think make up a good salesperson?
Well, the qualities I would say have to be, I think that's a great question. Really somebody that's absolutely, completely passionate about what it is that they're doing. You have to find passion in it. And it doesn't mean that you have to find passion in, or you have to find passion in some aspect of what it is that you're doing. Maybe the opportunity itself is actually the passion that you have found. So that was it for me. With products, I was not a product person. I was really hesitant to share a really great mascara with somebody because it just wasn't authentic. And so I had to find something that resonated really authentically with myself. And with myself, it was being a consultant, consulting somebody on helping them have a business opportunity for them, was really where my first angle went. So you have to kind of find something within what it is that you're working alongside, you know, that you can really attach yourself to. And then, you know, it wasn't comfortable at all. There's massive risk in it. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be courageous. But you just have to find that one little niche, and then the commitment is to follow. So that's probably another question coming up.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really good. And I think that's valuable advice. So actually finding out what it is that you want to portray yourself as. So you are a consultant. I think that's awesome. And that's a really useful way of getting people to really figure out what the message is that they're putting across to the clients that they're speaking to. So I know that when I first set up my business, when I had this fear over selling, I would get people coming up to me and say, oh, it's amazing what you do, but what do you actually do? Because I hadn't got specific about who it was I was targeting and what I was. So now I know I'm a positive psychologist and international coach. So people know straight away what it is that I do. I always say I help women with X, Y, and Z. So people know, people are clear about what it is that you do. So by branding yourself as a consultant, you're actually elevating yourself within their perception. You are offering something, you're offering a service, you're able to help them with something, rather than being a product salesman or a dodgy car salesman. So it's moving away from that perception that people might have into something that's going to be more positive and more facilitative of your growth for yourself and your business. So Shay, what is it that you would say is your favorite way of selling, and what is it that has worked for you best within your business?
I guess I would say my favorite way of selling is sharing, and it's sharing the opportunity. And so, similar to what we just talked about with being a consultant, from the beginning, I saw so many people. I mean, right away, I asked my sponsor, who taught me so much. I said, what is it that I need to do to be successful? Because I heard the whole entire story, but I really wanted to exactly know what it was that it was going to take for me to be successful in this business. And she said, you have to help other people with their business. And so that was the defining moment of being that consultant. And I didn't want to approach people by saying, I have this amazing thing that you need to look at. It just sounded so vague. It sounded, I wanted to be very direct, very respectful, very educated, and call people and say to them, you know, I've been thinking about you. I started a really great business, and I think you should look at the business model as well, because if it's not for you, it could be for somebody else and somebody that you might know. And that was where I just really made sure that it was clear that I was on purpose, and that it wasn't just, like you said, kind of over the top, not, unclear about what it was that I'm doing. So I love sharing the products. The products help, change people's body image. It helps their right now problems, but I want to fix the problems that are coming later. I want to help people to map out their vision of what it is that they would like to achieve in life. And so that's probably one of my favorite things to sell.
So how would you go about doing this selling? So I know when we've had our conversations within the work that we've done together, we're both very passionate about creating something that is so much bigger than ourselves. So creating something for other people to benefit from for years and years and years. So how would you go about doing this? So when you are having these sales engagements, is it online? Is it face-to-face? Or is it on the phone? What do you think's worked best for you?
Okay, gotcha. So I have different outreach methods. One is group presentations. I really like group presentations. So this is when I ask a hostess to invite 3 or 4 friends so that I can come over and share what it is that I do, share the samples, share the products, and share a little bit about the business. That is all obviously done via referrals, and it's definitely the old school way of doing business. But that's really how I've grown my business, and I've been really successful with it. Initially, when I started my business, I really was very favorable to one-on-ones. So that was more or less where I would pick up the phone and call people that I actually really knew. So I've really worked with my warm market quite a bit, where I picked up the phone and I really, in the beginning, steered clear of text messages because text messages can be perceived in so many different ways. So I really wanted to hear what it was that I wanted for them to hear my energy, and I wanted to hear their energy. And so if they weren't able to talk, I would set up another appointment and say, I really want to talk to you just for about 5 minutes. And when's a good time for you? And so the phone conversations are huge. Text messages work, but I haven't used them until recently a ton too much. Okay, another great way is Facebook Messenger. So I would just, be scrolling along through Facebook, at the doctor's office or wherever I'm doing my daily routine, at the kids' school. It's just I fit this business in my life. So I'm rolling through Facebook and I might catch a phrase that somebody says about how they're very unhappy right now, currently in their current situation, or they're, unhappy with their body image, or they're just unhappy with how much they ate, or, whatever it is, something that I can help them with. So I would send them a message and say, hey, I have something I need to show you. It might help you with this. I'd send that in a comment, or I'd private message them. Another way that I've done a lot of my business is because we are a product-driven company. I would call people and ask them if they were interested in just trying some of my products. So it would be as easy as me saying, hey, Nick, would you be interested in trying some of my health and wellness products? It's vegan, It's yummy, yeah. There's nothing artificial in any of it, and I think you'll really like it. So just would you try some? And then that totally takes it off of, that I'm asking them to do anything except bringing value to them. So I'm sure we're going to get into more about that, but that's probably my favorite thing, is just bringing value to customers.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think what you said about your energy as well, because I totally can feel your energy when we work together, when we are on the phone, on Skype together. And it's really, really powerful. I would always encourage people to have a personal connection with someone as much as they can. So to get off Facebook, it's great for an initial connection. But if you can actually get on the phone to somebody, so we're talking about how to sell with soul. And it's really difficult to find that soul element through a digital conversation. So if you can have it face to face, if you can get on the phone, if you can get on Skype, it's going to be really, really strong in terms of the communication value that it's offering you. So that's great advice there, Shay. Thank you so much. How would you, because a lot of the ladies that have emailed in, they've emailed in with exactly the same conversation. They've said that they've communicated to me is that when they have to go and get on the phone to somebody, or when they have to go and meet somebody, they have this real fear about the sales conversation. So what would you suggest that they could do to help them overcome that fear?
Okay, well, I definitely still have the fear, you guys. I mean, I don't know if that's something that's ever going to go away. So I really, kind of set up the environment like Nick was talking about, maybe throwing on some music and getting very on purpose. So I like to take a pen and paper out and jot down exactly what my purpose is. Why am I calling them? What is it that's going to help them with? Because I really want to have it be all about them. It's so much about them. How many, great discounts am I going to get them on products if they introduce me to one friend? Or how many big package of things I'm going to send them in the mail? It's got to be on purpose. So I need to have that be very clear. And then I'm also throughout my day. So like my business, you guys, it's a lifestyle. And I can pretty much say that for Nick, it is too. And any woman entrepreneur, it's surrounding us all the time. I mean, I love what I get to do because it creates freedom, but it also takes commitment and action. So I have to designate the time in my day that I'm going to be very, on purpose with my business. And so, if you're not sure on how to do that, I know that Nick is really great at helping set up time schedules for you if you're feeling a little bit like spread out. I mean, that's a great thing that she can do for you as well. So that's what I've done is I've designated times, and now I'm designated exact messages or conversations that I'm going to have with these people. So then I have a checklist. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I might have 100 people on my contact list, but I'm only going to make myself have to call maybe 5. Okay, because if I'm great with 5, then that's my day, and now I can go and enjoy my day and really give myself some praise because I work hard. I really want to end up on a good note too. So I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I am really big on CrossFit, and I used to be. I'm actually been pretty sloppy these days, but so CrossFit is so hardcore because it's like timed, and it could be this really light weight that you've got to pick up, and you've got 5 minutes to do something, and you just got to do it. You've just got to do it. And you've got to have 20 seconds of insane courage. That's all it is. And so you've got to prep, pump yourself up, get that 20 seconds of insane courage, and just make the call. You got to make the call and make it all about them. But also, you know what, if it's really hard for you, maybe write down a list of all the reasons why you're doing your business. What is it that you're wanting to achieve? What is it? Is it getting your kids into college? Is it paying for your parents' security in their future? Is it getting that honeymoon that you deserve? Is it getting a babysitter once a week? I mean, whatever it is, write that down and then put a line next to it on the phone call next to it. And if you can't make that phone call, then cross out what it is that you're working for. Okay, I want it to be a visual for you to see that if you're not able to pick up the phone with 20 seconds of insane courage, then, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to achieve the things that you really, really desire and that you really, really deserve. And so, it's in all of us. It's very uncomfortable to get on the phone and just know that you're not alone. It's tough, but you got to be proud of yourself when you do it. And quite honestly, the more that you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And so you gotta give it a shot, have an accountability partner, somebody they can call and say, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to call you right back afterward. Okay. So hopefully those are some good tips.
I love that. That is fantastic advice and really powerful advice as well. So I always encourage the ladies that I work with to get clear on what their why is. So what is the big why that is motivating you? And that is a fantastic way of actually giving you a visual to actually write it down on the piece of paper before you make the call. So you are connecting in with your purpose, and your purpose is bigger than the phone call. So therefore you make the phone call and you get over it and you do it and you get it done. I also agree that practice makes perfect. So for me now, I know that if I'm making a call to somebody to see if they're a good fit for me to work with, it's like speaking to a friend, because I love what I do so much that these conversations aren't anything to do with selling. It's to do with connecting with a real person and a real human. And I'm going to take your quote and I'm going to make it into some sort of visual quote that I'm going to send out to you all on email after this training. Treat your business like CrossFit and do it. So that is advice from Shay Fast.
Now I got to get back into the gym or the box.
I love that. Love that advice. Thank you so much. So what I want to ask you is, in your business, you have skyrocketed your success. You have really gone up and up and up and up, and you are expanding. You are growing all of the time. How do you manage to actually avoid the yo-yo? So a lot of people within their businesses will have a good month, and then they'll have a bad month, and then they'll have a really good month, and then they'll self-sabotage. So how do you prevent that from happening?
That's a great question. And I'd love to help so many people on that. I've just very, very much so from the beginning stayed absolutely committed to excellency. And I've also been very committed to what I set out to do. And it's funny because when I started working with Niyc, I think I really wasn't clear. I always thought that your whys was the same as your vision. And all of a sudden I had this big aha that your whys are very concrete. They're like specific things that you want to maybe check off. But your vision is something completely different. And your vision is what's going to keep you going. If your vision isn't crystal clear on what it is that you're trying to achieve, then you're going to hit the yo-yos. You're going to have the ups and downs because you're not really on purpose at that time. You're not committing. And there's something within me that I learned this, and this is so funny because it was on the streets of Berkeley, California. Some punk rock kid was sitting next to me, and he told me that everything that he says, he absolutely wants to stick to it. Like, he doesn't want to waste his breath saying that he's going to do something and not follow through. And I was probably 15 years old, but it resonated really deeply with me. I was like, wow, that is so true. I don't want to waste my breath or my energy and not be on purpose. And, it's also a bit of like a character. It's a character to me that I want to stay, it's value to me that I want to stay committed to what it is I said I was going to do. But that vision, if you really work on your vision and get, concrete on it, smell it, feel it already before, have it in Dolby stereo sound, like crystal clear. If you think of your vision and it's got like clouds all around it, then it's not clear. So we need to work on that. And then the great thing about this life and this business and everything that we get to do is that we actually get to make that vision happen. That's the best part, is that we actually can create it so far away and then actually manifest it into, and that's just awesome right there. And I know that can probably be way too much for people. Remember, here I was like concrete businesswoman, and now I'm like talking about rainbows and stuff, but it is the best thing I think that I get to do and I get to share with other people. And honestly, I have a lot of people on my team, and I've kind of realized that they didn't have that vision. I think I poured it into them initially, and they saw a little glimpse of it, and then it wasn't their own. And so all of a sudden it shifted, and now they were lost. And so you've got to be revisiting that vision for yourself, okay? And that's why vision boards are really important, right? I mean, the collages and stuff, it's kind of silly, but really it's pretty awesome. So, but take that time, you know. Working with Niyc has really helped me to just take my time for me instead of all the busy stuff. I mean, we could work on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Periscope. We can do everything. We can be out sharing. We can be in the house sharing. We can. It just can be so all consuming because it's so, you know, it's just everything happens so quick right now. So take the time to be really quiet yourself and tune into what your purpose is and where it is that you'd like to go and achieve with this, because then I doubt that the yo-yos are going to happen. It's going to be a lot clearer, I think, for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, this is so true. Your vision is so, so important, and getting clarity around your vision, what it is that you desire, what it is that you feel inside, and really, like you said, checking in with that. So performing some sort of reflection over, is that still what I want? Okay, so what is working for me right now? What is helping me on my way to this vision? Specifically, which things are being productive for me? Which things are returning revenue and profit for me, and which things aren't working? Okay, so if I really want this vision, how do I need to readjust what I'm doing to keep me moving in the right direction so that I am constantly building, constantly growing and expanding in the way that I want to? So by growing yourself, you are growing your business. And I fully know that this is true. So you need to invest in you in order for your business to grow. So with this in mind, what do you believe the value of mindset is, Shay?
Oh, it's huge. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I really love the clarity that you brought to me with the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I've actually done some trainings with my team on this as well. You're absolutely right. The investment in you is it should be like one of the top things of your priority. It should be, you know, your faith and your family and yourself, for sure. And so, I mean, that's what's most valuable. And so learning to, you know, to look at things and to be okay and willing to make mistakes and willing to put yourself out there and appear, you know, even like with this conversation right now, I mean, I'm not 100% confident in it, but I'm going to give it my best. And if I don't do a great job at it, I'm going to really reevaluate it and see how I can tweak it and make it better the next time. So I'm constantly analyzing, I'm constantly reevaluating, and I'm constantly striving to just, to master what I'm trying to, accomplish. So my business is like mastery. That's what all the little steps and, the sales is just a part of it. It's just trying to master the close and the open and the working with people. And it should really be viewed as something really fun and exciting that you can learn and challenge yourself and get better at and then grow from. So I love mindset. I definitely have a growth mindset, and I encourage anybody and everybody to work around having a growth mindset, because then it's going to kind of take that 50-pound weight off your back. It's okay. It's okay to not be perfect, and that's okay, but you got to keep trying.
Absolutely. So it's not a case of absolute failure and absolute loss. Everything is a growth process. Everything is learning in life, and we are constantly making it up as we go along, building on what's gone right and what's gone wrong, and doing our best along the way. But really, 80% of your business is your mindset, and that sounds like it's extreme. But if your mindset isn't in the right place, then how is your business going to be in the right place? So this is something that you really need to pay attention to. You should be doing mindset work every single day, because mindset work isn't for the people that are down and out and feeling really rubbish all the time. Mindset work is for the successful leaders, the change makers, the thought leaders in the world, the people that are doing great things are practicing mindset every single day. So I will always coach to a 7-figure mindset, which is what we work with, Shay. And I will always coach around gratitude as well. So I can really encourage you to be grateful for the things that you do have in your business, to be grateful for the clients that you do have, the team members that you do have, because by developing this sense and this feeling of gratitude, you are welcoming in more of the same. So by connecting in with the feeling, you are actually saying to the universe, right, I want more of this feeling. I want this to continue in my life. So bring me more, I'm ready. So in terms of your mindset and your confidence, I know that every day I'm working on my mindset. Every day I am doing mantras and self-confidence practices. Is there anything that you've done or you use to improve your own self-confidence, Shay?
Definitely. I have used, I dedicate a half an hour a day to personal growth and development. And I also decided that I wanted to do 12 books in a year. So 1 book a month. I wanted to be able to pick up, read it to its entirety and put down. So that's not a lot of pressure. 1 book a month is pretty easy to accomplish. I also love to, and I love to listen to podcasts. Those really help with my mindset. We have some really great trainings in our company within Arbonne that our leaders are training, and so I listen to those. But I've also really looked out and above and beyond, because within where I am within my company, I absolutely love it. But when I become the top level, that's just the beginning, I feel, as if where it is that I want to go. And so I have to study those successful people in life. I want to study all different types of aspects and just keep growing and expanding my mind. And that's really what keeps me going. If I feel a little bit frustrated or kind of out of it or not really wanting to work in my business, if I just throw in a podcast for a half an hour or an hour, it gets me motivated, it gets me going, and as well as really just living that lifestyle. This business to me, it's a health and wellness business, and so I have to embody that. How can I be the very best version of who I am? And am I going to be making sure that my health is absolutely a top priority? Am I eating clean? All of those things, I'll be really transparent. I completely 100% quit drinking alcohol because the sugar and alcohol really affected my mindset. It wasn't that it made me, just feel like I had a hangover for 2 or 3 days. It just literally made me have a negative mind frame. And so it was that depressant feeling that I just didn't appreciate, and it wasn't serving me, and it wasn't serving me on growing. And so I had to say, hey, is it worth it to me to drink and just to be social, and then have a day or two where I'm kind of in a negative spiral? So no, I've got to remove that. I've got to remove that roadblock. And like I said, that vision is crystal clear of what it is that I'd like to go to. And you know what? I have a feeling that when I get to that vision is going to change, and it's going to go into something else. And that's the beauty of our life, is that we get to have that constantly, those shifts. So mindset work is so, so, so important. And I have to say I dedicate I probably will dedicate at least 3 hours to it, because a lot of it's all done just when I'm, making dinner or whatever. It's not just sitting down reading a book. So very important in my business.
Yeah,
and another
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what I always find about mindset is it's something that I also practice half an hour in the morning, and this is what I encourage my ladies to do as well. And additionally, I love podcasts, so I would strongly recommend these, and I love going out for a walk and putting them on. So I'll go out for a walk in the sunshine. I will probably be looking like the crazy lady around the neighborhood because I'm walking along with a huge smile on my face, loving life. But that is really filling me up as I'm walking. I'm learning, but it also allows you to switch off as well, because there's so much noise around your business. And if you're working on something, your website crashes, you're struggling with not feeling good around your sales calls, go out, do a walk, put a podcast on, guaranteed come back and you'll feel amazing. So definitely that is something that I would also recommend. And reading as well, constantly up leveling and expanding your mind, learning from people that have done it before. And when you mention eliminating the things in your life that no longer serve you and no longer work for you, I'm going to recommend a book to you all that I want you to go and read this weekend. So this book will take you 2 hours to read, and it is a game changer. The book is called Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. I know a lot of you that are on the call today will have already read it because I will have already recommended it to you. But it is something that really allows you to differentiate between an amateur lifestyle and a pro lifestyle. So really developing this 7-figure mindset for yourself and for your business as well. So Shay, if you could recommend one book to us, what would it be?
Well, gosh, one book. You know, it's really hard. I don't know if I could say just one book. I really like all of John Maxwell books. So okay. I do believe that to be successful in life, you have to become a leader. And I actually have decided, even with my children who are 6 and 8 years old, that I'm only going to give them money if they read. It's not about cleaning their house and their chores and all of that. It's about how much they're investing in themselves. So, and then I also will highly recommend The Sun Stands Still. It is a Christian book, and it's written by Stephen Furtick, and I think it's fabulous because it's all about living with audacious faith. And you have to have faith. You know, you have to have belief in what it is that you're working on, because it's not tangible currently. And, you know, especially for entrepreneurs, because we're all working on trying to achieve this vision that we've created. And so it's got to be constantly working towards it, and you have to believe it before you get there. So
absolutely, you need to really strengthen and solidify that belief in yourself, because you need to be unwavering in that belief. If you are going to get where you're going, you need to make sure that no one or nothing can knock you off track. So in terms of the last question that I have for you, Shay, and this is, again, something that has come through a lot of emails from you guys that are watching today. You want to know how to overcome objections. So you get to the end of your sales conversation and you ask for the sale, and then somebody comes up with an objection. So how would you get over that hurdle, Shay?
I always tell them that I understand where they're coming from. And so I want them to be heard. And I think so many times people just really want to be heard. You know, I've realized this when I was in my coffee shop industry. If there was a problem with a drink, literally a $3 drink, and they took the time out to actually either send me a Facebook message or get on the phone, or even their next visit, you know, share that experience, that bad experience with me, then they need to be heard. And so I just want them to be able to just express themselves as much as they can. And then I want to say that, you know, this is what I understand what you're saying. So it's like feel and found. I understand what you're saying. I felt the same way. Feel, felt, found. This was great for somebody gave this to me. I feel the same way, or I felt like this has happened in the past. And I found when I do this is a better response that I get. So say they're unhappy with the product that they've received, and maybe it's made them, you know, have a breakout. Oh, I totally understand. I know exactly how you feel. And I felt the same way before. And you know what I found that if I'm taking Digestion Plus, which is a probiotic and prebiotic, it actually helps with my skin. And so, you know, you never want to just get shut down and take it on and take on their energy. You know, you want to take that negative and turn it into a positive. So, you know, you want to just make sure that you're helping them feel as if they've gotten everything that they could off their chest. And then you want to bring value to them. How can I help this person? I'm here for you. I'm building a relationship with you. This connection means a lot to me. And And I think that's really what it boils down to. You know, we're not in the business, you know, honestly, selling is a word that it just totally freaks me out. I feel like a used car salesman. I don't sell anything. I share products, and I share how people can get something of value in life. And I want to help people, and that's all that it is that I'm doing. I'm offering you this to help you, and I want to give you all of the information that I can, and I want to hear everything that you have to say about it. And then if it's not a win-win, then maybe you know somebody that it could be a win-win with, you know. So it's never all a complete loss by any means. But you know, just don't get shut down with objections, because actually objections can really like create very, very, very loyal customers. And so just be brave and ask a lot of questions. Niyc is great at teaching people how to ask questions, that's for sure. I am too. I think that's really important in business. So ask lots of questions.
Yeah, definitely. So keep the conversation open, keep it flowing. Don't shut down, exactly like you've said, Shay. So constantly try and understand more about what that person is really trying to say to you. And when you get that connection, it opens up a whole other world of possibilities to you. So it might not be a fit or a win-win right now, but it might be a fit or a win at a different time, or with a different opportunity, or with a different product, or if it's reframed into a different situation for them, if you can communicate it in terms of their values rather than speaking in terms of yours. So it's about really listening, employing active listening. So rather than you just spieling off your sales pitch, you actually listen and be an active participant in the conversation as well. So thank you so much, Shay.
I have one thing to say. I always like that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We need to listen a lot more than we speak. So ask questions and listen to what they have to say, and then just help them, bring value to them.
Perfect. I've heard that one before as well. So awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, Shay. I've absolutely loved sharing this experience with you. I am going to share your details with the ladies via email, but can you tell us where we can find out more about you, how we can get in touch with you? Any of the ladies that want to make contact, how can they do that?
Yes, definitely. Probably the best way to get in touch with me would be through Facebook. I have a new Facebook page that's facebook.com/shayfast.entrepreneur. And then you can also find me on Arbonne International. And I have a website at shayfast.arbonne.com. So go ahead to either of those locations and shoot me a message. Take a look at the great vegan, clean, green products, pure, safe, and beneficial that we have as well. But I'll be honest with you, the business opportunity is the best part. So it might not be for you, but it might be for somebody that you know. And I would love to help them. And thank you, Niyc, so much for today. This has been so fun. I'm actually off to go spend the entire next 4 days with 25 leaders in my company and we're going to go up into the mountains and just breathe and fill each other up and give each other all of these great tips, and just surround yourself. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that you really, really are striving to be like and that you want to become. And so it's the best part that we can do is just be together. Unity has volume, big time volume. So I'm glad that we're all here together today. And I'm just super glad that we got to meet Niyc. And I hope and I wish you well. And thank you so much for asking me to be on today. And I hope I gave something of value that you guys could go home with a little nugget and change your business and explode wherever it is that you're going.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to hear all of your successes. So I would love for you to get in touch. So Shay has mentioned her contact details. I think the best way to get in touch with Shay is through Facebook. Same with me. If you want to get in touch, you can find me on Facebook, look me up, or drop me an email at nick@nickpigeon.com. All of my info is on my websites. So the Upgrade Your Success program is a 6-week course that is open and available right now for female entrepreneurs that are looking to up-level their success and looking to thrive in life and business. So all of the information about that can be found from me direct and also at upgradeyoursuccess.com. So Shay and I are both here to support you in your journey to greatness. We are absolutely cheering you on, and any questions that you've got for us, just send them through. I'm so excited to hear all of your successes, and I wish you the best of luck with your life and with your business going forwards. Shay, it's been absolutely awesome to have you here. Thank you so, so much. And thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your day.